Every baby counts. Learn about saving babies together. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Marion County Medical Center. We're focused on this Saturday's March of Dimes Marion County Walk America, and we're visiting with Harry Martin, the Rehabilitation Services Director here at Marion County Medical Center. Good morning, Harry.
Good morning.
Thanks
Glad
so
you could
much
be
for
here.
being with us this morning.
Sure.
So excited to think this Saturday, we're 5 days away. It'll kick off rain or shine. You'll have a spectacular crowd out here.
It's a fun time right here in the county of Marion. A lot of people do show up and know what to expect from years past, and it's growing from every year, year to year.
So this is not your first Marion County Walk America?
Far from it.
Oh, God.
I've been involved for a number of years now, and each year it just seems to get better.
Well, when Pete and Joe were with us yesterday to kick off the week, it was so exciting hearing her talk about so many of the activities. Of course, to get you and Bo McMillan in today, it's really a treat. Where are you from originally, Harry?
Originally, I was born in Salisbury, Maryland, but I was raised right here in Marion County. Graduated from Marion High School and went on to college and finished at MUSC in Charleston. And then once finishing physical therapy school, returned to Marion County and worked at the Marion Hospital when I first graduated.
Is that right? Do you still have family here in the area?
I do. I now live in Florence, but my mother still lives in town. My brother lives here, and of course, like I said, the number of friendships made over the years, keep me involved in the county.
You said you finally ended up at MUSC, and that was in physical therapy school, or how
Exactly.
was that? Okay.
Right. Yeah. Most of the time now, as a matter of fact, it's mandatory now that you have to have a undergraduate degree before you can get into physical therapy school.
Okay. And where did you work immediately following graduation?
Began at what was then Mary Memorial Hospital, and started there and worked there for a couple of years with a contract organization. Was promoted within the organization, was transferred to Florence, and eventually I got into home health to get out of the contractual business that we had, and enjoyed that and did that for a number of years. But then one night the phone call came, "Are you interested?" And I was interested. Ended up coming to Mullins, and had been in Mullins until we merged back in 1997, I believe it was now, is when we all became one in one hospital here in the county.
So the Marion Memorial and the Mullins Hospital merged to become Marion County Medical Center.
Exactly.
Well, that's fantastic. So if someone was to ask, how did you come to your position at Marion County Medical Center, it was really through the merger of the two?
Pretty much. The therapist and I that was in Marion and I in Mullins helped design the department and was very much involved in what the department would look like here. As time moved on, he found other things to do, and the department has grown since then, basically. We now have just not physical therapy, but now occupational therapy, speech pathology, and as well as cardiac rehab and wellness, which I'm involved in all of those.
And when we say what type of rehabilitation treatment is provided by your department, it's just that. It's that expansive.
Exactly. We can treat anything from birth to the geriatric now. We've just grown over the years to where we were very, one area is all we could do, but we've tried to diversify and get to where people could stay in Marion County, not have to go elsewhere for their health care.
When did you first become involved in working to support the March of Dimes, Harry?
Really, when I was in the Mullins Hospital. It was been 5, 6, 7 years ago. It just was one of the teams that never really had a lot going on. I was also involved with Relay for Life and also involved with the Heart Association, Walk America. And March of Dimes was always one that always lagged a little bit, and kind of took that on back then to see what we could do. And as you can see from over the years, it has grown from that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And for the last 3 years, the walk has originated from Marion County Medical Center. How did they wrap around that? Where had it been prior to this?
Everywhere is the best way to put it. Wherever we could walk, that's what we did. Sometimes it was in town. Sometimes, Marion had theirs, Mullins had theirs. But then we finally got together here, and that made them both be together. And the first walk that we had here, like you said, 3 years ago, happened to be on the same day as a motorcycle run. starting from the same place.
No.
So at the last minute, Joe Fisher and I put together the moves, the logistics of getting the move, getting it set up in time for everybody when they got here, and we pulled it off. And it just ended up being a great walk. So that's the kind of thing that has made Marion County do what it does, is people getting together to get the projects done.
Mm-hmm. And over the last 3 years, even since it's been kicking off from this same location, what are some of the changes that have been instituted?
A lot more businesses, a lot more people's involvement is basically it. Jo is a very dynamic person. She gets out, she helps us get out, gets the word out that, we're here. And people have learned to know that what we do here is fun. There's door prizes at the walk for everybody that comes. They register when they come in, they get a ticket, and they're great prizes. I mean, Carolina Opry tickets, lunch tickets, different places. I mean, they're very nice prizes, and word is getting out, and people are wanting to get involved.
Oh, yeah. Folks love prizes.
Love it. That's right.
Folks love prizes, Harry. The Marion Walk America was cited last year for its spectacular growth. I guess primarily financial growth, but surely the walkers had to be out as well. Why do you think the Marion community rallies to support the March of Dimes?
As I said, I think the word's getting out of what the walk is and what March of Dimes is doing for the county. We have just got into a number of things here with the activities that we do. It's not just the walk. They said more industry doing it. And people in downtrodden places lots of times are looking for a rallying point. And we really believe that has been a part of it with the success of the numbers of people that are doing and making our numbers go up from the state level.
There's also been a very high incidence of preterm births here in Marion County, hasn't there?
Yes. Yeah, it's premature babies and have been a problem for a number of years in the county. And lots of that, I think, is coming from the idea that, we are, kind of down right now. And people have their minds on other things and just can't get the prenatal care that they need. And, us as well as the DHEC are working to get that word out to where we can stop some of this premature births in the county.
Harry, obviously, Pete talked yesterday about his role in helping to get sponsorship support. What has been your role for the Marion County Medical Center's walk team?
Well, basically, I've been the team leader for a number of times, and people say it's my walk. It's not. It's a number of people coming together to make the team work, and so I just kind of know, what the March of Dimes expects from us, and try to get the people together that will get involved and will do the wraparound events within the hospital and other areas to make the money for the March of Dimes.
What have been some of those, as you say, wraparound events? What have been some of those organized events to try to raise money for this year's walk?
Sure. Oh gosh, what can I say? T-shirts. This is the number one thing that we started. We've been doing this for a number of years.
Yeah.
This is the walk from our T-shirt this year.
And that is great how they've got Marion County laid out, broken off from the state, and those feet walking across. It says March of Dimes, Walk America, Saving Babies Together.
And we're very proud of this. We've sold so far, and they went fast, over 800 T-shirts.
Come on.
And
how
that's
much?
A lot of people. If you really want to get particular, the short sleeve were only $5, and the long sleeves were $10. And the reason for, everybody says $10, $5 for a T-shirt, how can you do it? My premise is one of the successes that I say with our shirts is that we want everybody to be able to have one. And from our institution, I'm always talking about from the housekeepers right up to the CEO. And that's what happens. When you have 700 or so employees at the hospital here, word gets around, and they want them. They look forward to these every year. And it's their way of supporting the March of Dimes and our efforts here. So this has been a big thing. We've done a silent auction here where people within the organization donated items to do that. We raised over $1,200 with small little things that people did out of just the silent auction. So we're very proud of that. We had a poker run not too long ago. Wasn't as successful as we wanted, but it was our first, it was our start, and we hope to do this every year. And then, of course, we had the March of Dimes booties that we sell. Pilloid here, in one of the industries in the area, has been nice enough to donate an entertainment center that we have raised $300 with our ticket sales so far, but we have these out throughout the county. And everybody says, so we don't have those numbers back yet. But we're hoping to raise anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 with that.
And those announcements we made the day of the walk?
Exactly. Yeah. All the drawings are that day.
Spectacular. Last week we were at Francis Marion University focused on the PD American Heart Walk. It was held last weekend, and one of the folks, Barbara Garrick from Carolina's hospital system, was talking about a wraparound event they had for the Heart Walk was entering your child or your baby ages birth to 5 as the cutest baby, and obviously a lot of folks were buying boats essentially to try to get the boats. And there's so many things that can be done for wraparound events, for a walk or, as you said, a poker run.
Take a big idea. I mean, we do every year. We've done it twice. Is blue jeans for babies, and Mr. Mulford allows us to wear blue jeans one day with our T-shirts, and but they have to buy a sticker that allows them to wear blue jeans those days. And again, that raises money for the March of Dimes.
Absolutely. Now, the front of these T-shirts say Marion Regional Healthcare System.
Right.
Do different folks who are sponsors or different community folks get their own T-shirts made that have their own company on the front? Anderson Brothers Bank, for instance, or the City of Marion, or...
I haven't seen them this year, but it is a possibility. I mean, don't give them too many ideas; it'll take it out of our pots.
Wow, it's...
But yeah, I mean, anybody can do it. It's not hard to do. It just takes the time to do it.
Oh yeah, that's such a great looking T-shirt.
Well, thank you. We are very proud of it.
Who came up with that design, Harry? Someone in the hospital?
Me.
Oh, it's folks claim it's the Harry Martin walk, but it is definitely not, as you said.
But as I said, I mean, this was just a quick idea, a spin-off of what the March of Dimes $100 T-shirt is. You know, people who raise $100 get a T-shirt from the state level March of Dimes, and it's just a little spin-off of theirs. And I showed it to our team, and our team was, willing to go with that, and so that's what we did.
Harry, we got 2 minutes. What are some of the events that will be held this Saturday at the walk? The registration kicks off at 9, but a lot of things are happening even leading up to that.
Oh yes, we have to get ready. I mean, it's a matter of getting the logistics of getting tables out, tents up, balloons up, grills cooking. We plan to have hot dogs for the walkers this year. And like I said, in registration, I mean, just the registration process takes a little while for people to come through. So we plan, hopefully, everybody get here between 9 and 10 so we can get that done so the walk can start at 10.
Absolutely. You got some new natural spring water that'll be out here. It's exciting that Better Blue's been able to wrap around the Walk America. We're very excited about that. Why do you think, Harry, that you give your time to support the March of Dimes?
March of Dimes has been around for a number of years. They helped me in years past. Now, I'm not somebody that asked themselves something from me, but as a therapist in years past, the March of Dimes stepped up and bought equipment and stuff that I needed for children and for some adults that couldn't buy it for themselves, and made them have a better life. And so that's when I first really bought into the March of Dimes. And I know a lot of it now is research, but that research helps prevent the things that I had to treat in later life.
Research is the critical word. Working together to save babies. The aspect that Harry and the entire team here at Marion County Medical Center for so long now have been wrapping around 3 years. This is the 3rd year, kicking off here right behind us at the fountain. Get out here this Saturday, 9 a.m. registration, 10 a.m. walk. Check out the amazing new T-shirts, Harry Martin's brainchild, but it is truly a team effort. Get out here. Harry, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Appreciate you coming.
Definitely. Stay tuned to Bo McMillan coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at Marion County Medical Center. We're focused on this Saturday's March of Dimes, Marion County Walk America. Registration starts at 9, the walk kicks off at 10, and we're visiting with Bo McMillan, the owner of Momentum Medical and one of the sponsors of this Saturday's walk. Good morning, Bo.
Good morning, Greg.
Thanks so much for getting in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So exciting to think about all the activities leading up to this Saturday's walk and all the sponsors like yourself that are wrapped around Marion County Walk America and so many of the activities going on this Saturday.
It's a great time and it's a great event, and if the weather holds up like it is today, we ought to be in great shape.
Absolutely.
It's such a beautiful day today.
And surely, rain or shine, folks will still be out here. There's such a big focus in the community. And, of course, you're from the Mullins part of the county.
Yes, I've been here basically all of my life except for about 7 years in Columbia. I've born here and plan to retire here. I love it. This is a great part of the country to live in.
Mm-hmm. Bo, how far back does your family date in the area?
We go back into the early 1800s. There was a large family. Our family immigrated from Scotland and came into the port of Wilmington and made their way down to the Red Springs area. and eventually into the Mullins area, where there were a whole group of brothers that ended up here, ironically, in areas a great deal like the areas they left in Scotland.
Is that right? Speaking of brothers getting together, you've got a couple of brothers that are down in the Horry, Georgetown County area.
Well, I do. I've got one. Steve is the middle brother. He is in the funeral home business down in at Myrtle Beach. And my baby brother is in the restaurant business in Earl's Inlet.
No sisters, all boys?
No sisters, all boys. It seems to run in the family.
Absolutely. I'm the middle of 3 boys, so I know that aspect. Where'd you attend school, Bo?
Graduated from Mullins High School, attended USC, did some study courses at Liberty University. And one is always in school. Schooling is ever present.
Absolutely. What'd you study at USC?
Just basic business courses.
What'd you do following graduation?
I actually had the dream job. I was in the ice cream business for several years. Actually, I was part of a team of salespeople that brought Breyer's ice cream into the South. I was with a division of Kraft Foods. And after that, I left Kraft Foods and went into the apparel business, and I spent almost 30 years in the apparel business.
30 years?
Almost 30 years,
oh,
yeah.
Lord, you
sure
could
did.
have been...
I was young.
Yeah, golly, right. It's amazing to think you were out of college, because you sure kept your youth well. What was that like, traveling?
Kept my youth, not
kept
my hair.
Your youth.
The traveling was one of the greatest experiences that I could ever have hoped for. Traveling broadens your horizons. It shows you how other people live. A great deal of my experience was in the apparel centers in New York City, especially. I spent a lot of time there, Chicago, L.A. But traveling was a great education for me.
So you traveled some major areas.
I did, and it was wonderful to be able to travel, and especially in big cities, and come back to Marion County and to the city of Mullins, where the pace of life was easy and the people are friendly, and it just shows you the diversity, the great diversity in this country.
Now, you were in a different phase of life. Share with the viewers a little bit about Momentum Medical. What exactly is Momentum Medical? Momentum
Medical Brace and Limb was started in May of 2001. I started it along with my son, who is in the physical therapy business. He was an employee here. My wife is an RN at Carolina Hospital Systems, and I really looked at myself in the mirror and looked at the demographics, and I looked at the aging of America, the baby boomers, and I realized that the medical field was going to be a good one to get into, and I was looking for something else to do after having sold a business, and I realized that was a great field. And we're in the orthotics and prosthetics business, as well as durable medical equipment, but we specialize in O&P, and there's a great need for that. And the closest competitor was in Florence, and the people from this county have to go to Florence for so many things, especially in specialized medicine. And we're also lucky to have a great orthopedic specialist here, and the people that saw him here had to go to Florence for services, and we just found the need to offer that service to the people of the PD area. And unfortunately, Greg, a lot of people have to take public transportation to get there, and once they get there, they're left to the schedules of the public transportation, and they go to Florence and have to spend all day. So I wanted to provide a service to the county and to that part of the population that was so dependent on public transportation.
And Bo, you and your son have seen the demand here.
We not only have seen the demand, we've seen the demand increase in only 2.5 years. Yes.
Golly.
Yeah.
So the clients really feel, obviously, very thankful, I'm sure, to have it here in the county, not to necessarily have to travel to Florence, but that aspect has been well received.
Yeah, especially in the orthotics and the prosthetics business, because when someone loses a limb, there's a process that they have to go through of fittings, and sometimes those fittings have to be exact, and you have to measure and remeasure and refit, and to have to run back and forth from here to Florence several times, it's quite a handicap for people, and especially when they've undergone such a huge trauma in their lives as having lost a limb.
And some of the services that Momentum Medical would provide, does that tie into the fitting and all the aspects there? Or is that normally done?
We do it all from start to finish.
Is that right?
We do. It's just it's part of the process, and you take the people and like I say, they've undergone a terrible trauma.
Right.
And they need not only the fit, the expertise, but they need compassion. Like I say, it's a terrible experience for a person to have to endure.
That is a great commitment, a great service commitment, that aspect. I know that is a big deal, and the emotional aspects tied therein. We had a guest a couple months ago. Actually, we were to Camp Happy Days over at the Camp Bob Cooper, and spent a week there with folks, children with cancer, and it was amazing to see. Obviously, so many have been affected. You've probably folks even from this area, from all over the southeast, who've been in. It was amazing. One of the gentlemen who went over with us that day had lost a leg in his late teens, and it's fascinating to hear him talk about that aspect, particularly the sensitivity of someone that helps him get through that.
Well, one of the other things that I realized too, Greg, is that we looked at the demographics, as I said, and there's such a huge incidence of diabetes in this part of the country, and it's an insidious disease, and it attacks almost every organ in the body, and you develop neuropathies, and then you start losing a limb, and that's one of the things that I saw that we needed, and people shouldn't have to drive 45 minutes to an hour to find those services, and that's one of the things we wanted to do. We also do we provide mastectomy supplies for women who have undergone breast surgery. We have a certified fitter on staff there too, and that's another area where you have to have a skilled person to do the fitting and have the necessary compassion to deal with people who've undergone such a trauma.
Well, you all have really branched out a lot in the last 2.5 years. That's fantastic.
We do, and we keep looking for other areas, but our main focus is to keep people in mind and to give them the services that they need at a particular point in time when they've suffered a lot.
Bo, how did you become involved in supporting the March of Dimes?
Well, I just believe in the cause. Ironically, your ambassador, the young child who's the ambassador,
right.
Her mother is a cousin of mine. So,
is that right, Beth
yes,
Hawks?
Beth, and Madeline.
Right.
And I've watched, I've watched her grow, and I'm very proud of the fact that Madeline is the ambassador child. But I give to other things too, to the Heart Association,
sure,
to the Cancer Society. I believe that when you're a business owner, or no matter what your station in life is, that you need to give back. And I've been so fortunate and so lucky that we look for ways to give back to the community,
right,
whether it's service or monetary funds. You just have to give back.
And that would be indicative of, really, you're speaking to all business owners or all folks in the community, even employees in businesses, the ability to give back.
Absolutely. If you don't have it to give monetarily, there's always time that people can give.
That's exactly right.
And it's just something I so strongly believe in.
I was fascinated yesterday talking to somebody from Walmart, actually, a program they have, Volunteerism Always Pays, where they will pay if an employee quarterly will give up to 12 hours quarterly for a certain group. Walmart will match that employee's dollar time,
right,
and give that dollar amount, let's say it's $100 or $200 quarterly,
right,
to a charity of choice. If that person will work an hour a week, essentially, which is an amazing idea, and I thought that's something that every company should wrap around. This volunteerism always pays.
Well, I think that's something we have to do. My mother, for instance, is 81, and she volunteers here at the hospital. She retired from the hospital, but she loves coming back and helping.
Now, Bo, speaking of helping and in the community, you've been involved in a heck of a lot of community activities other than supporting. Weren't you recently the chairman of the PD Regional Airport Authority?
I was. I served 2 years as the chairman of the authority, and that's another endeavor that I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of what the airport has done in the last 6 years and the improvements that have been made. And we've just got a terrific group of men who are the PD Regional Airport Authority, and we've seen great changes take place there. And I just every opportunity I have to talk about the Florence Regional Airport, I love to tell people, go out and fly out of Florence. Don't go to Columbia. Don't go to Myrtle Beach unless they have to. But use our airport. It's a terrific little facility.
That it is. That it is. Lastly, Bo, when you think about all the folks in your life, you think about an 80-plus-year-old mother volunteering here at the hospital, so many of the folks in your travels, inspirations for you in your life, a family that goes back here in the county more than 200 years. Is there anyone that sticks out in your mind who's been a true inspiration for you?
So many that I couldn't even begin to tell you. I just lost an uncle who was my mother's twin brother. What an inspiration he was. He never complained. His body was racked with pain, and I never once heard him say, "Why me?" In fact, if you ask him how he felt, he'd always say, "Well, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you." Just my history of travel is the pathways are dotted with people who have inspired me and have given me so much hope. We're blessed, and to be able to give back to the March of Dimes is a great joy for me, as well as other things. I'm just a fortunate person, and I'm so proud to be able to play even the smallest of parts.
The words are real simple: giving back. Giving back, inspired by so many, whether it's immediate relatives like an uncle or a mother or brothers. Family members always stand out, but the ability to give back stands out from a community that's really helped prop you up, got you started, and kept you going. Bo, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Harry Martin of Marion County Medical Center and Bo McMillan of Momentum Medical for making today's Carolina People so special.